Imagine for a moment that everything you see, touch, and experience, the bustling streets, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, even the beating of your own heart, is not as solid or as real as it seems. What if the very world around you is more like a projection, a fleeting illusion shimmering on the surface of a deeper, unfathomable reality? This is not the rambling of mystics lost in the clouds. Modern physics, particularly quantum mechanics, is beginning to hint that our everyday reality may be far more malleable, mysterious, and illusion-like than we ever dared to imagine. For centuries, spiritual traditions across the globe, from the secretive schools of ancient Egypt to the Vedic sages of India, have whispered a truth that challenges the very foundations of our perception. The material world is a veil. The world, they suggest, is not out there in the way we think it is. It is, in some profound sense, a construct, a play of consciousness manifesting as form. And now, astonishingly, quantum science is beginning to validate these ancient whispers. In this video, we are going to journey to the edge of perception, where science and spirituality converge. We'll explore how the strange behavior of subatomic particles suggests that observation itself shapes reality, why time and space may be less rigid than we believe, and how the universe might be less a machine and more a living, conscious hologram. But this is not merely a philosophical puzzle. It's a doorway to understanding the hidden powers of your own mind and the true nature of existence. So, stay with me as we unravel the threads of illusion and step into a world where the boundaries between matter, energy, and consciousness dissolve. By the end, you may never look at your surroundings or yourself the same way again. Before we dive deeper, I want to ask you, if the world is an illusion, what does that mean for your daily life, your choices, and the way you perceive yourself? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading them, and your perspective might challenge everything I reveal next. Long before the term quantum physics existed, ancient civilizations were already hinting at the illusory nature of the world. In the deserts of Egypt, the priests of old taught that the physical world, the stones, the temples, even the stars, was but a shadow of higher realities, a veil to test human consciousness. In the Eastern Vedic tradition, the Upanishads declare the universe to be Maya, a magnificent illusion that masks the ultimate unchanging reality behind it. These weren't metaphors to inspire poetic thought. They were precise observations of existence, encoded in ritual, myth, and sacred geometry. The Greeks, too, wrestled with the concept of illusion. Plato's allegory of the cave describes prisoners chained to see only shadows cast on a wall, mistaking these fleeting forms for reality itself. His insight resonates eerily with modern quantum experiments. What we perceive is shaped by observation, not necessarily by the thing out there. Even the mystics of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, Giordano Bruno, Paracelsus, hinted at a cosmos alive with unseen forces, a universe where mind and matter dance together in secret. So why has this knowledge been hidden or forgotten? Perhaps because humanity has always feared the consequences of seeing behind the veil. To recognize the world as illusion threatens our sense of control, our identity, and our comfort in solidity. Institutions, religions, and even science at times have reinforced the appearance of a fixed objective reality, steering minds away from the unsettling but liberating truth that the cosmos is far stranger and far more malleable than we imagine. Quantum science, emerging in the 20th century, is now shedding light on what these ancient teachings hinted at for millennia. Experiments with particles, waves, and entanglement reveal phenomena that defy classical logic. particles existing in multiple places at once, reality shaped by conscious observation, instantaneous connections across vast distances. The parallels to mystical traditions are striking. Where mystics once spoke in metaphor, physics speaks in equations, but both point to the same revelation. Reality may be a living, dynamic interplay of consciousness and potential, not a static material stage. Even in more recent philosophy, thinkers like Kant and Schopenhauer pondered this veil of perception, suggesting that the world we know is filtered through the mind, not necessarily a faithful reflection of what truly is. Could it be that the quantum world is merely confirming what mystics and philosophers intuited all along? That the solidity of the world, the permanence of objects, and even the flow of time are illusions carefully crafted by consciousness itself. Pause for a moment and consider this. If civilizations separated by continents and millennia all pointed to the same insight, could it be more than coincidence? Is it possible that our ancestors glimpsed the architecture of reality itself, an architecture we are only now beginning to glimpse through the lens of quantum science? And here's a question for you, before we go deeper. If what you see and touch is not ultimately real, how does that change the way you experience fear, desire, or ambition? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective is part of the mystery we're exploring. Now, let us step from the whispers of the past into the strange, luminous world of quantum reality, a realm that challenges everything we thought we knew about existence. At the heart of this mystery is a startling truth. Particles, the building blocks of matter, do not behave like the solid, dependable objects we experience in our daily lives. Instead, they exist in a state of potentiality, a shimmering cloud of possibilities, until observed. Picture this: a single particle, a mere dot of energy smaller than the eye can see, simultaneously exploring every possible path it could take, like a traveler wandering through infinite dimensions at once. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is the quantum superposition revealed in experiments with electrons and photons. And here's where reality begins to feel like a dream. The moment the particle is observed, measured, or interacted with, it collapses into a single outcome. Observation does not passively record reality. It participates in creating it. Think about the implications for a moment. If the building blocks of the universe are not fixed until consciousness touches them, then perhaps the solidity of your desk, the walls of your home, even your own body, are not as immutable as they appear. Could the world you take for granted be a projection, shaped by countless layers of consciousness, both yours and the collective consciousness of life itself? To make this more tangible, imagine the universe as an immense ocean of possibility. Each wave is a potential reality, a scenario waiting to emerge. Your mind, like a lighthouse, illuminates one wave, bringing it into form. All other possibilities remain hidden, potentialities that might never manifest. Ancient mystics described this same principle. Reality is not fixed, but fluid, waiting for awareness to give it shape. Quantum mechanics gives this mystical insight a scientific echo. And yet, the quantum world is not only strange, it is paradoxical. Take entanglement, for example. Particles separated by vast distances, even light years apart, instantaneously affect each other's states, as if connected by an invisible thread. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. But what if it is not spooky at all? What if it is a clue that the universe is a seamless web, and space and separation are illusions? What if, at its core, reality is one consciousness wearing many masks, experiencing itself through endless forms? Even more mind-bending, are experiments showing that particles seem to know when they are being observed, adjusting their behavior accordingly. It is as though reality itself responds to attention, much like the ancient idea that thought and intention shape the world. In this sense, quantum mechanics is less a study of inert matter and more a revelation of the intimate dialogue between consciousness and creation. Here's a metaphor to anchor this in imagination. Consider a hologram. A small fragment contains the entire image. In the same way, each particle, each point of awareness, may contain the whole universe within it. This is not abstract speculation. It is a model that aligns astonishingly with both quantum discoveries and the mystical teachings passed down through centuries. Yet, a question lingers. If reality collapses into form when observed, what or who is doing the observing? Are we merely participants in a grand cosmic dream? Or is there a deeper consciousness that underlies the entire illusion? This is where science reaches its limits, and philosophy, mysticism, and personal experience step in to guide us further. As we continue, we will dive even deeper into this mystery, into the paradoxes, hidden truths, and little-known revelations that challenge the very nature of what it means to exist. But before that, pause and ask yourself, if the universe is shaped by observation, how does your attention, your awareness, create the reality you live in? I invite you to reflect on this and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights are part of the unfolding mystery we are exploring together. As we journey further into the quantum landscape, the illusion of solidity begins to dissolve even more. Beyond superposition and entanglement lies a paradox that challenges the very way we define existence. The idea that particles, and perhaps reality itself, do not exist in a fixed state independent of observation. This is not merely a strange scientific fact. It is a philosophical earthquake, shaking the foundations of our understanding of what is real. Consider the famous double-slit experiment. A single particle, fired through two slits, behaves like a wave when unobserved, spreading and interfering with itself. But the instant it is measured, it behaves like a particle, choosing one path over the other. Reality, it seems, is not predetermined. It is participatory. Some interpretations suggest that consciousness, human or otherwise, plays an integral role in shaping the unfolding of events. Could it be that our minds are not passive spectators, but co-creators in a vast cosmic dance? Yet, there are misconceptions to navigate here. Quantum phenomena do not mean that anything goes or that thought alone can conjure objects from nothing. Instead, they hint at a subtler truth. Reality is a dynamic interplay between potential and perception. The universe offers infinite possibilities, and consciousness selects which potentials crystallize into form. It is as if the cosmos is a living canvas, and attention is the brush that paints the world we experience. Hidden in these paradoxes are astonishing connections to mystical traditions. In Kabbalistic teachings, the concept of Ein Sof, the infinite unknowable source, describes reality as emanating from a boundless field of potential. In Buddhist philosophy, the notion of emptiness, shunyata, reveals that phenomena lack inherent existence. Forms arise dependent on perception and context. Quantum mechanics, in a sense, is echoing these timeless insights. The world is relational, interconnected, and profoundly dependent on consciousness itself. Here's a little-known but fascinating quantum insight. The universe may not exist as a singular, objective reality at all. Some physicists propose that space and time are emergent, not fundamental. In other words, the three-dimensional world we inhabit might be a projection from a deeper, higher dimensional reality, a cosmic hologram. Every particle, every interaction, every flicker of energy could be a coded reflection of a reality far beyond ordinary perception. And here is where it gets even more intriguing. If the universe is a hologram, then every part contains the whole. This is mirrored in ancient wisdom, from the Hermetic maxim, as above, so below, to the Vedic idea that every being is a microcosm of the cosmos. The implications are staggering. Your mind, your awareness, may not merely perceive reality. It may be an active node in a network of infinite possibilities, capable of influencing the manifestation of the world around you. But let's not shy away from the unsettling questions. If the world is an illusion, what does it mean when we suffer, when we fail, when we confront mortality? Does illusion diminish reality, or does it open the possibility of liberation from fear, limitation, and illusion itself? Quantum reality challenges us to reconsider the meaning of identity, time, and causality. It invites us to embrace mystery, to accept that certainty is often an illusion in itself. Pause and reflect. If everything you know, the people you meet, the objects you touch, the life you live, is shaped by observation and consciousness, how does that change the way you move through the world? What choices become possible when reality itself is fluid? I encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective is a mirror of the cosmic dance we are just beginning to glimpse. Now that we've glimpsed the elusive fabric of reality, the question arises: how can this understanding transform your life? If the world is, in essence, a holographic projection shaped by consciousness, then the way you perceive, focus, and engage with life becomes profoundly significant. These are not just abstract musings. They are keys to expanding awareness, shifting perception, and cultivating a deeper, more empowered existence. The first step is mindful observation. Just as quantum particles respond to observation, your reality responds to attention. Begin by noticing the world around you in a way you never have before. Observe textures, sounds, and sensations as if encountering them for the first time. Pay attention to thoughts and emotions without judgment, recognizing them as signals in the vast field of potentiality rather than fixed truths. This simple act of heightened awareness can begin to dissolve the sense of separation between you and the universe, revealing the illusory nature of rigid boundaries. Next is the practice of intentional visualization. Picture a reality you wish to experience, not as a wishful thought, but as a conscious exploration of potential. Imagine the details, emotions, and energy of that reality as vividly as you can. This aligns with the quantum principle that potentialities collapse into form through focused attention. Over time, you'll notice subtle shifts in perception and circumstance, reflections of the mind's power to interact with the field of possibilities. A third practice is cultivating presence in paradox. Reality is not linear. It contains contradictions, uncertainties, and mysteries. Instead of seeking to resolve every puzzle, sit with the unknown. Meditative practices, such as observing breath or focusing on silent awareness, allow you to inhabit the liminal space between certainty and mystery. In this state, the illusion of solidity begins to soften, revealing the fluid, interconnected nature of existence. You can also explore rituals that reinforce consciousness. Simple acts, lighting a candle while focusing on intention, journaling insights, or walking in nature with complete awareness, serve as anchors for integrating the mystical understanding of reality into daily life. These rituals are not magical in a fantastical sense. They are practical tools to remind the mind of its participatory role in shaping experience. Finally, embrace the ethics of interconnectedness. If reality is a hologram and every consciousness influences the whole, your actions ripple outward far beyond immediate perception. Compassion, kindness, and deliberate choices are not merely moral imperatives. They are practical ways to align with the true structure of the universe. Observing and participating consciously in this grand web fosters both personal empowerment and collective harmony. Be mindful, though, of common pitfalls. Many become frustrated or disillusioned when change doesn't manifest instantly. Remember, quantum potentialities unfold according to intricate patterns, and patience is part of the practice. The goal is not control, but alignment, becoming aware, choosing consciously, and flowing with the hidden intelligence of the cosmos. So, ask yourself, in what ways could your attention, intention, and awareness reshape your experience today? Begin small, observe, visualize, and act with conscious purpose, and watch as the illusion around you begins to reveal its deeper truths. As we reach the edge of this journey, one truth becomes clear. The world as you know it is not fixed, not solid, not absolute. From the mystical teachings of ancient sages to the astonishing revelations of quantum physics, a single thread weaves through time and space. Reality is a living, dynamic interplay of consciousness and potential. The solidity you rely on is, in essence, a projection, a dance of energy and awareness shaped by observation. This realization is not meant to unsettle you. It is an invitation to awaken, to see life as it truly is, a fluid, interconnected web where thought, attention, and presence shape the unfolding of experience. Every choice you make, every act of awareness, is a brushstroke on the canvas of the universe. The illusion of the world is not a trap. It is a doorway, a passage to freedom, creativity, and deeper understanding. As you reflect on what you've discovered, consider this. If reality is participatory, what part are you playing in the cosmic drama? How might your perception, your attention, and your intention alter not only your own life, but the entire world around you? The answers are not handed to you. They emerge as you engage with life consciously, exploring the infinite possibilities that quantum reality offers. And so, the question remains open, not as a puzzle to solve, but as a mirror for your own awareness. If the world is an illusion, what will you choose to make real? Will you cling to appearances, or will you step into the mystery, harnessing the power of your consciousness to co-create a reality that reflects your highest vision? If this journey has stirred something within you, I invite you to share your thoughts, experiences, or revelations in the comments below. Let's explore together how these hidden truths are not just concepts, but living keys to transforming perception, consciousness, and life itself. Remember, the veil is thin, the universe is listening, and reality is far more wondrous than it ever appears.